doesn't realize how fast this year is going by. But anyway, let me get back on track. Today's show will be viewed on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. Today's guest is so special to me. Her name is Kellie Trimmer, and she's from beautiful Huntington Beach. If you've never been there, absolutely beautiful. So let's all welcome Kellie to the show. And here she comes. Good morning.
Good
How
morning.
are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll wait before there's a few people on their way here. The comments you'll be able to see.
Okay.
So
Trying to find myself a good position here.
oh yeah.
I'm still having my morning coffee because it's early here in California.
Yeah.
It's not, we messed up last time because I was thinking 10 o'clock. And I'm fine, don't get me wrong. I'm not a morning person. I never have been. And I don't think I ever will be. Like, it just takes, I like my sleep. How can I say that?
That's good. You can get sleep.
I do get sleep.
Wow.
I can't sleep during the day anymore. Like, when you get really tired, you just want to chill out for a little bit. I can just rest. Can't sleep, can't take naps, can't do anything like that. But when it's time to go to bed, I go to bed. And I do like my beauty sleep.
Yeah, me too. But I do have to take a quick, it could be 5 minutes, just like a quick power nap, even though I don't sleep, just to rest.
Exactly. I can just shut it down like for 20, 30 minutes. My body just has to stop. Good morning. Hi. Good morning.
Yeah, I'm just going to bring up the comments. So I hope I don't, there's a lot of stroke survivors, as you know. Well, a lot of people like me get a little confused and get off track, but I'm still going to bring it up because everybody likes to get involved. And we love to have people.
Tom and I are at SoCal.
They live in Inglewood.
Oh my gosh. Very close.
Yeah.
I mean, like 45. Yeah. I know who they are. I don't know them personally. Hi.
Yeah. Awesome.
I watch their shows, their lives. I've been watching Tom's story from when he was in the hospital. They were in Napa, I believe. Napa. I saw them in Napa. I saw Tom go into the hospital. I've since watched them come home. So yes, I've been following their story very closely.
Yeah, I've met Tom and Slood in Dana Point because we usually go
8
there.
weeks. Oh, you saw them? Have you met them since you've been here?
Yeah, well, last year, Tom, my wife Barbara, and Slood and we usually go a month out of the year to Southern California.
Yeah.
We usually stay 2 weeks at the Laguna Cliffs Marriott.
Oh my gosh.
Because we have points there, and so we do that, and just to get out of the heat because of here.
Oh my gosh.
But before people, I know I'm just cruising around here. Hey, Naomi, her husband Gene had a stroke as well, so she's a caregiver. Nice to see you, Deb. Yeah, there's a lot of people here. I hate to miss. Yeah, there's Melissa. You see, nice to meet you, Kellie.
Hi. Good morning. It's hard for me to kind of do both, so bear with me. I'm trying to, which is good for my brain to try and, kind of keep up. So I'm looking and trying to, wonderful. Everything went well. 8 weeks in Napa. She was in Napa 8 weeks. That's amazing.
They have a timeshare out there.
Oh.
So they go all over the world. But lately,
take me with you next time.
Yeah. She just says, wow, thank you for following our story, she says. But good morning, Louise. Thank you for being here. Yeah. Okay, so to just start out, if you don't mind me asking, who was Kellie before? Well, I know the story, but I wanted to see, because it's a little different story than like a stroke. Something happened before.
Bear with me because sometimes it's hard for me to sit for a long period of time, so I just have to move around a little bit.
Don't worry about it.
So should I tell the story of what happened?
Yeah, it's because it's very it's something that's not just like, oh, I was walking and I had, and all of a sudden,
No.
uh-oh, like me, and I couldn't walk.
So I had breast cancer, and I got diagnosed with breast cancer a year ago, May. And I had been through a lot. I just lost my mom, which was brutal. She was my love. I was grieving. I was devastated and trying to pick up the pieces of that. And I found out then I had breast cancer, and a few months after my mom passed away. And by the way, during this time, my dad's in hospice the whole time. So he's brokenhearted. They were married for 60 years.
Yeah. Wow.
So the whole thing, the family dynamic, there was a lot of grief. There was a lot of, I had been helping take care of them for probably 5 years before that. Right. So for me to suddenly become the patient was devastating. So they decided that I had this cancer in my breast that they needed to come out. So everything was taken care of. You're going to get this, 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 and this. And what they decided to do was basically a mastectomy. So they took everything and did a reconstruction. And so the surgery was a little bit longer than just taking out a lump, let's say, because they did a reconstruction and did both sides. And somewhere during that surgery, I had a stroke. Unbeknownst to anybody, because nobody knew that it happened, because I woke up like paralyzed. I woke up paralyzed, and I was in recovery, and everybody's like, wake up, you need to get up. And I'm like, okay, groggy, trying to like get out of it. And I'm like, I just want to get out of here. And the nurse said to me, well, before you can leave, you have to walk and you have to go to the bathroom. So I'm like, okay, well, let's go. I was just ready to get out of there. Like, I'm trying to get up, and I said, I can't move. And she said, what do you mean I can't? I said, I can't move. I can't move. My whole left side of my body was paralyzed. And I didn't know that at the time, but, of course, the red lights went off and sirens and the whole thing as I'm in the hospital. People came rushing in, and I ended up, and I have very vague memory of the whole thing as it was happening, but I rushed to, I don't want to say surgery. They did a clot blocker, which they inject you with something. They're trying to get this clot out. They didn't even really know what happened yet. Wow. And so I ended up in ICU for about 5 days as they were trying to figure out what the heck happened. And I started that journey. It was a year in July 22nd. And it's been a nightmare, to say the least. I mean, it's been beyond a nightmare, as you guys can imagine. So I ended up in rehab hospital. I was in the hospital. So I went in for breast cancer for this little big. I didn't leave the hospital for 2 months. So tiny little cancer. And they decided, well, we got to take care of it. What really upset me is I actually know now that I was a walking time bomb, but nobody knew it. My blood pressure was high. It turns out I had a blocked artery here, a blocked carotid artery. Wow. So, but nobody knew that. And it's another very frustrating, because if anybody knows anything about breast cancer, it's rampant in women. People are having, I'm also in a breast cancer support groups. Nobody knows. And what's frustrating to me is so many women are having surgeries and taking everything out, and they're just not checking. They should have done a full physical for me. Right. And if somebody had maybe taken a second to check that out, and my blood pressure was extremely high. So there was my cholesterol was high. So there was a bunch of factors involved that I wish now that people would have taken into consideration, obviously. So I try not to stay there on the past, what happened, why it happened. I just have to now accept this body and move on. And I was in a bad place for a long time, very, very bad place. So I'm trying to, somebody should, it doesn't matter anymore. I have to move on. and get out of that place and say, okay, whatever happened, this is my new body and I have to deal with it. And I can't dwell on what happened. I have to move on. And I'm working very hard. I've been in rehab for a good year, working very hard.
Good.
Cancer's gone, which is the only good thing about all of this. Cancer's gone so far. Knock on wood, it hasn't come back. And I have to get checked. The other thing was they were telling me I had to go into radiation, right after this. And now, mind you, I had a stroke during surgery. And I'm like, that's not possible. Like, how can you put me in radiation? I'm still recovering from this, thing that happened to me. And they were like, well, you have to do it. I said, well, why do I have to do it? So it's another whole story, but I started questioning the whole system. Like, I just decided, like, why? I no longer trust the medical community. Like, everybody let me down and nobody was looking out for me. And I understand that cancer is very scary and they wanted to get it out of me, and they were so quick to do surgery that they didn't stop to look at what was happening here. So I so far beat the odds. I have not had to do chemo or radiation, because one of the things with chemo is you have to raise your arm up like this so they can get to the cancer, which is here. But I cannot do that with this arm because it just doesn't. And I kept trying to explain to people, that arm doesn't go up like this. It's frozen, and they said, that's a whole nother story. I don't want to get crazy there. I could go totally off track. So I'll stay back to trying to stay positive, doing the work. And the funny thing is just doing the work, meaning going to therapy, working hard. Sometimes you don't know why you're doing it. You're just doing it. Right. You just go, I say, trust the process. And I was so bitter and so angry for so long. But I kept doing the work. I kept doing it. I didn't know why I was doing it, but they kept telling me, you got to lift this arm, you got to do this. And it was so painful. And I said, okay, I just kept trust the process is what they say. And then all of a sudden things started working. My hand started moving. I'm grabbing things now with this hand. This hand's moving. I can actually reach out and grab something, pick it up. And I was like, and this was after a year of hard work. Yeah. Everything just started clicking and coming together. So I guess my thing is just keep doing the work, even if you don't know why. Yeah. What the hell you're doing. Because I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and I just kept doing it. And things are just finally clicking and coming together. And by the way, during that process, my dad passed away while I was in the hospital, recovering from my stroke. And I think my dad could not handle seeing me like that. He was already on his way out. He was close. And terrible. He could not take seeing me like that. I'm his youngest daughter. Yes. Imagine that. And then having to see, he said to no father should have to see his daughter like this. And I agree. He was devastated, and he passed away 6 days after this happened to me. God. And I think it just took him, he lost my mom. He was devastated. He got through that. And then seeing me like this, I think he just said, let me go. Wow. And take me. So along with the grief of having this, I was also grieving the loss of my parents. Yeah. So that was a terrible time in your life. Now I'll just go to some comments. Paul Cummings here is saying, Kelly, thanks for sharing your story and being so brave. And which is not, and then Lynette Price. I don't know if you know Lynette Price or see her around. She does a show tonight. Okay. And it's Kelly. Thank you for sharing your story. I also had stroke sometime in surgery or ICU 17 years ago. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's so Lori. Good morning. Let's see. There's some others here, and I guess I should put my glasses on if I'm supposed to. Whatever is easy for you. I can read them to you. It's not a big deal. So salute. Going in from one operation and ending up with another reality. That's true, right? That's crazy. Who knew?
Yeah.
So I was a walking, talking. So a week before this happened, my girlfriends took me away because we knew that I was coming back to this. So I went to Idaho for a week.
Right.
I was hiking, climbing, horseback riding, rafting. We were canoeing. We were on the lake. It was amazing. And Idaho was just breathtaking.
Yeah.
So I had this amazing trip, and I came home to this surgery, which I knew was coming, and God knows this was going to happen. So I was a walking, talking, active, loving, beach. My favorite thing was going to the beach with my dog, and everything was taken away.
Yeah, you had a bike, an electric bike too.
I had an electric bike. I think I've shared that on some of that. I had an electric bike. Me and my dog used to go down to the beach. I'm about a mile, 2 miles from the beach. We go down to Joggy Beach, and she would sit in my basket. She was the happiest thing. I call her the belle of the ball. She had the biggest smile on her face because she was like, look at me, look at me. So we would ride down to the beach, go to the beach, hang out for there. And about 6 weeks ago, I had to trade in my electric bike. I sold my electric bike, and I had to go for a go-go scooter. And that was a huge ego blow. It was so hard to swallow that is now my reality. But it also now is giving me some independence. So I can go to the store, I can go get something to eat, I can go get tacos if I want, whatever I want. I now have the ability to get out of here by myself with nobody else, and I enjoy that peaceful time. I called them freedom tacos. Yeah, they were the best tacos I ever had in my entire life, the first time that I went out to go get tacos by myself. Awesome. And they were the best tacos I'd ever had. So I will share a picture, but it's an ego blow, another ego blow.
Yeah, because I know probably the answer to this because it's so different now. Mike Peters, he's in South Wales, United Kingdom. He's asking, how was your mental health, please? And
terrible.
In the beginning, yeah, you said
terrible. Devastating, beyond belief. I was so emotional when I first came home. I was in the hospital for 2 months. Could not stop crying all the time, and couldn't believe everything was taken away from me. Everything, my job. Now, mind you, I'm also lost my family. It was like being decimated, like losing your family, grieving. So there's the 6 stages of grief. If anybody knows grief. I was feeling all of those, and then times 10 because I was so emotional from the stroke. I couldn't make sense of anything, so I would just cry. My whole family is gone. My mom, my dad.
Exactly, and Naomi's saying, "Wow, you've been through so much and have come so far." A couple other things. Deb says, "Determination will get you there."
I have no choice anymore but to get better and to get stronger. And I was a very independent person before. I'm single. I live on my own. I've always been single, worked hard, made decent money. I've traveled around the world by myself. I went to Thailand by myself.
Oh, nice.
And I would just go places because I wanted to go there, and nothing would hold me back. And that's taken away because I'm thinking, well, I can't travel anymore. What can I do? And so back to mental health, it was devastating, terrible. I was at my lowest point ever in my life. And some days I still feel like that, but
I can imagine.
Not like I was. I'm crawling my way, scratching my way back. And the days when I feel down, I have to find a place to find something positive, try and stay. There's days that I'm not so great. I mean, that's very normal. I mean, honestly. But as we were talking about, very important, I do see a neuropsychologist, which I highly recommend to anybody who's had a brain injury. to, because it's not just a psychologist. I was dealing with loss and with grief, but my brain was so scrambled.
Yeah.
I couldn't make sense of it all. Like I didn't know what was happening because it was like scrambled eggs. Yeah. And I started seeing this neuropsychologist, and she's helping me understand the workings of what I call my new brain. Right. And I was a salesperson, a sales representative, outside sales, very astute, very, quick, fast. I don't feel like I have that anymore. And I hate to say that, but I'm not trying to be down on myself. I get confused very easily. Hard for me to keep up at sometimes. And
well, it's so true, because I always say, and I think I mentioned this to you, stroke is not for the weak. And you also, I told you I'm going to send you a link to Dr. Karen Sullivan. Yeah. She's a neuropsychologist back east, and she's doing a stroke recovery group. And I signed up for it. I know Salute and Tom, a lot of people have signed up, and I'll send you that link, because that's
I definitely want to be involved. I recommend that very highly. If you can do it, ask your neurologist about seeing a neuropsychologist. It's not easy to do, and it took some fighting. But I realized a long time ago, I have to fight so hard for everything. It's ridiculous. Yeah. And the irony is I used to live upstairs in an upstairs apartment when this happened. So I came home to living upstairs, and I couldn't do stairs. And I was, okay, well, I just moved downstairs, right? And my place where I live said, no, we're not moving you downstairs. I was like, what? Wow. I was shocked. And so of all the fights that I've had to come up with, was fighting to get me to a downstairs apartment was beyond my wildest dreams. Like that would be such a natural thing. And I've had to fight for so many things. It's exhausting, to be honest with you. Like sometimes I'm just exhausted. I can't do it. I can't fight anymore. Somehow I keep doing it. And the great thing is I find myself winning. So I keep fighting. It takes longer. I don't have patience anymore. That's one thing I don't have. I have very little patience. I get frustrated very easily. I want to say lose my temper pretty easily.
You're going to have to keep involved with our group and get you into some of our sites, because it's so supportive. I mean, even Salute and Tom. Salute says, wow, Kellie, you're so close to us. We need to get together. Safe and social distance. So
I would love to. I'm trying to see comments, but I can't read them. I apologize.
It's okay. I can bring them. Salute, Kellie. Okay. We have so much in common. Salute is saying. And let's see here that Yvonne Kent Patera, she says good morning. She's from Athens, Greece.
Oh, hi. Yeah. I saw Yvonne yesterday on Paul's show.
Oh, great.
Was that her?
Yes.
Was that Yvonne?
Yes.
I would love to connect with her. Where can I find her?
On Facebook. I think 99.9% are on Facebook. Mike Peters from South Wales, United Kingdom, says he had a heart attack, stroke, now pandemic. I was told stroke does not affect your mental state by a specialist. Hey, see, that's how it is. No. It's so true. I
wouldn't cuss, but I can't help it. Sometimes I get so mad.
I understand.
So frustrated. It's such baloney, and you do have to fight. So there's also medication, which I highly recommend to help calm everything down.
What is it?
I take something called Wellbutrin, because I told my my neurologist, I said something's wrong. First of all, I couldn't stop crying.
Yeah.
All the time, like crying like uncontrollably. And then to the other extent of it, I would just start laughing, like crying, laughing, like it's something so stupid. And I was laughing at the worst times, like when I was trying to get in the car or out of the car, and I would get stuck, like almost to the point where I was going to fall, and I was scared. I would start laughing and crying, laughing, like tears, laughing. He's told that's called pseudo-bar.
Oh my gosh!
Pseudo-bar.
Barbarell.
Yes.
Very
important.
PBA.
Yes. So I recommend medication to help you kind of calm everything. And because, like I said, your brain is like scrambled eggs. You
Yeah.
can't make sense of anything, and it's still very hard and very challenging. But I'm on something called Zoloft.
Okay.
Zoloft. And
Yeah.
it's because I was also so depressed. So it
Right.
helps with the depression. It helps with the crazy emotions, the laughing, the crying, the anger. That was another thing. So I was all over the place. Um, Zoloft is what's for me. It's not for everybody, but it seems
Yeah.
to help calm me down and pulled me out of despair. I
I
would say
totally understand. There, Yvonne from Athens says that's normal, and I know for me, I have it tremendously bad. I mean, I could be like at church or wherever, and I could start laughing hysterically,
yes,
and I can't stop. I almost have to leave, and people, it's and then they start crying, and it's.
yes.
But so I just deal with them. My family knows how it is. I start laughing, crying, and they just kind of laugh with me. I mean, it's not a big deal anymore because they know how I am. So I know what you're saying.
Well, when it comes to family, I have my brother and my sister. They both have kids and they've been completely absent. I mean, absent, like
Yeah.
not involved. They have no idea what I'm going through, no idea. They know I go to therapy 2 times a week. I go 2 hours a day. I do walking anyway.
Yeah.
Whole end
How
of
do you
story.
get there? How do you get there?
I have people that help me.
Okay.
Come and get me, drive me. I'm this close to driving. I started driving the other day. I mean, I shouldn't be doing it yet, but that's the next step. If I could get to driving, I'm like, I think 90% because I don't want anybody here anymore. I don't want people coming. I have caregivers that I have to hire to
Yes.
come help me. And it's very degrading, just humiliating, degrading. Somebody helping me take a shower. I mean, what? That was
Pride.
like,
I know.
oh my God. So I was thinking about it last night, and, you know, with all this crap that's going on in the world, I'm like, is God really pissed at us? He's just really pissed because here in California with the fires,
Right.
it's devastating, it's disgusting. Then I heard in we're going to have hurricanes in Florida again, and all the craziness with the racial injustice. I'm like, God is just really pissed at us right now. Like he's just trying to shake us, like wake up.
To make us
And
stronger. But
so I'm feeling that's what he's doing to me, which is
right.
called stripping you of everything you ever had,
I know.
every being humiliated, having somebody have to wash you was crazy. Like that was
I
the
know.
whole thing that I had to like swallow that pill. And I'm like, okay. So I'm being stripped of every humility, I guess is the word that I'm looking for.
Yeah, yeah. And
And he's going to strip you down of everything you ever had, everything you ever knew.
mhm,
And then you have to slowly start building it up.
right.
And for the first time in a year, I took a shower by myself,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
amazing.
so stupid. I know it sounds so silly,
No,
but
no
it's
one does.
the best feeling I've ever had that I can remember because I'm like, if I can take a shower and I don't need to have somebody here help, I've been scared because I live alone.
Yeah.
I'm really scared to fall.
I
So it's
know, I
not
know.
just, I really
I
feel like I just need somebody so I've been doing it by myself, but hey, just stay there just in case. I can't fall. If I fall, I'm screwed.
yeah, I
So
know. I luckily I have my wife, but I was home alone. It was right before the pandemic, and I broke my hip falling,
um,
thinking I can. But Naomi says Gene is her husband who had a stroke. Cried after the first two strokes. Now he laughs at everything since his fourth stroke last year. I mean, there's so many comments here. Let's just get to them, and I want to keep going. Carolyn, good morning. I get stuck too. So stuck too. Let's see. They're going real quickly here. Let's see here.
it's all hard to swallow. Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
it is. Tom's daughter, Tom, you know who Tom is from with Salute.
Yeah.
Tom's daughter, brother are absent. Um, and Lynette, I couldn't laugh or cry or show anything. So there's, I mean, I'll get through these real quick. Sorry. Best thing for me now, showered myself, hated female caregivers.
Yes.
By
the way, also having a caregiver for somebody who's been so independent my entire life. I mean, I'm sure everybody has. I'm not saying that. But like I said, I'm single, I live on my own, I was working, and having to have somebody come here and help me, I could not wrap my head around it. And I was so weak and so emotionally broken that I was allowing these people to treat me poorly, if you can imagine
that. Yeah.
The best feeling I ever had was one person that was helping me quite often. She was here a lot when it first happened. I looked at her and I said, "Get the F out of my house." And that's when I knew I was coming back. Like Kellie was coming back. Like she was coming, she was fighting. And I no longer was going to be treated poorly by anybody, no matter how sick I was. And I finally just said, "Get the F out." I literally said, "Get the F out of my house." And that was the best thing I ever did. Wow. And ever since then, I kind of started getting back and getting myself back, which is a fighter. And I decided to fight.
Good for you. Because Lynn says, "I wash myself and dress myself now. At first, I could not." And I think that's all of us as stroke survivors. Months I couldn't do it. And I didn't give up, but I just thought, you know what? My pride, forget about it. How did you do it?
Did you have a shower chair?
Oh, well, I had to have people shower me while I was in the hospital for a couple months. Even after, my wife had to do it, and I finally got a shower chair, but she didn't trust me on the shower chair anyway, because it's not so stable. I mean, mine was a good one, but it's still,
it's so scary, and people don't understand that. And it's such a simple task.
Right, you think.
That we take for granted. Whoever knew? And I was the kind of person, because I worked and I was in outside sales, I had to go see people, I was on the road a lot. Last thing I would do at night is take a nice warm shower.
Yeah.
Take the day off. I would say wash the day off, and a nice warm shower to calm me down. And I can't do that anymore, because I just don't have the same freedom. I just don't have it. But taking a shower by myself for the first time with nobody here, I kept my phone close. So if God forbid anything happened, it was in the vicinity where I could call Siri. And I basically got in, sat on the shower chair, did my business. Yeah. And I'm in and out. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. And then got back out of the shower. And then, of course, I have some bars there to help me out. And then I just got back into my chair. And that's all I wanted to do. It wasn't, and then I came in and then I could get dressed and do the rest. So let's go here. I used a shower bench. I laugh. I can't keep up.
I know. Let's see. Where was that? Is that from Salute? I have a shower tub. No. I'll bring some up you look some shower tub bench. Yeah, you can look at all these comments. So Lynette Price lives alone. She's her own caregiver. And she says, "I live alone, and it's hard to take a shower with no one around. I have been my caregiver more of the one time." Or I kind of say things wrong. But also what you were saying, you have your phone, because with me, even if my wife's in the other room, my phone goes with me 24/7, because I can just call her or something.
Me too. Yeah. Me too. So it kind of transport right here with me.
Oh yeah, you told me. Yeah.
And goes from room to room, and I would say from where I was a year ago, I'm like 70% better.
Wow, good for you.
Physically, mentally. And everybody kept saying, "You got to change your mindset. You got to change your mindset." And I was like, "What do you mean? What is mindset? I don't get it. I'm so pissed that I can't change this mindset." I was so angry and bitter and sad. I'm dealing with the sadness, loss. I mean, my family was decimated basically. And best way I could put it, you and I talked about, is like having a fire, like the fires here in California, and you wake up and everything you own, everything you have is gone. It's in ashes. And now you're slowly, and that included my family, which was my parents, who was my family. And now you're just trying to put the pieces back together. And
well, it's so true. Like Randy Terry here says, once you start fighting, you'll win many rounds. Soon you'll get a knockout. Feels good to do for yourself.
Yes. Amazing. Liberating. How's that? That's the best word. Liberating is, I have to have somebody here every day and to help me get dressed, help me do this, help me shower. Now I'm like, I don't care if somebody comes or not. The only thing I need is to help drive me. And so I'm also trying to set goals. So my newest goal is probably 3 months, maybe 2, is to start driving.
Good for you. Salute just says, I love how positive you are.
I don't know if I could say that all the time, but I try. Because if you talked to me probably 3 months ago, this wasn't me. So it is changing. And, I do a lot of work. I listen to podcasts. I listen to audiobooks. I talk to people. Like I said, understanding what's happening in my brain is very important. And it takes a team. Somebody said to me, it takes a team of people to put you back together. And you can't do this by yourself. That's part of the reason why I'm here, is because it's time for me to reach out and to get involved and start talking about my story, because I've been on my own and kind of isolating. And I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to tell anybody. I was embarrassed. I'm embarrassed that this happened to me. And I don't want to be there anymore. I don't want to be that. It's time that I get out of whatever this thing was, the isolation and hiding. I didn't want friends to come see me. I didn't want anybody to see me like this. So I'm getting better. That's all I can say. I know I have a long road to go. But
so it's your left side that's affected.
Yes.
But and you're just taking Zoloft. Are you taking any other? Oh, not Zoloft.
What am I not taking?
Yeah.
So
do you have seizures?
Say again?
Do you have seizures?
I do not.
Good for you.
I haven't had any setbacks since this happened. The cancer is gone, knock on wood, that we know of, and I don't have to move forward. I've had 2 tests since then, and so far cancer's gone, thank God. So I don't have to deal with that until next year. I just found out that it's pretty vital that I have surgery here. This artery, my carotid artery, is blocked, and
currently.
Say again?
Currently?
Yeah. So that's part of what they think caused the stroke, was this artery is blocked. So, but again, nobody checks anything before they rush you into surgery, which pisses me off. That I'm going to become an advocate for women, for all these women that have breast cancer and that have to have surgeries. It takes 5 seconds to check this here. Check your blood pressure. Get checked before you have any kind of surgery. And so that's another mission, that a different story. So they said, well, you have a blocked artery here. And I was like, what? Like, this was all new to me. Yeah. So in a year that I've been recovering, by one doctor, I asked him, I said, what do you think about this? He goes, I have no opinion about this. So I finally got to a new doctor, and again, lost all faith in the medical community. And I went and saw this new doctor who was a blessing, amazing. And I couldn't believe that a doctor was this involved. And she called me the next day. She's like, Kellie, you have to have this surgery. And I was like, what? Like, not in a year has anybody said that to me. She goes, no, it's 80% blocked. You have to have the surgery. And I was like, damn it. I'm just really upset about it because I don't want to have any more surgery. If you can imagine, I'm terrified to go to any of the hospital, and I have a little bit of PTSD.
Yeah, that's a lot of people do have that happen. And Mike Peter just says, "I love this lady."
Oh, thank you.
Mike,
I love
yeah,
you. Thank
yeah. And to get Salute says we're human and we have downtimes, but
Yes.
it's the PMA, positive mental attitude, that helps with charging your mind to get out of that mood.
Yes. So, and to do that, I listen to YouTube. There's tons of stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
There's positive attitude. There's audiobooks. So I just kind of have to keep doing it and finding a way to get my mind out of the gutter, so to say. Get it out of the gutter. Get out of there.
Yeah.
Because I can really obsess about something and it can kind of take over a little bit. What do we have here?
This is Lynette Price is saying, I think she meant, we all have bad day. I love her saying, you have the right to get down life. But you don't have the right to stay there.
Correct. Yes. So, I believe that I had a battle with depression as I was coming into this.
Right.
And just because I was still grieving the loss of my mom, who was my best friend, by the way.
Yes, I know.
She was my best friend in the whole world forever and ever. And it just really, and I knew it was coming. You just can't prepare yourself. I mean, I knew it was coming, but I could not function well after. So I was still in depression from that. And then my dad was really sick. So.
But you're strong. I mean, look at how you are, and losing your parents, you had a stroke, cancer, all this stuff happens. And I'm really proud of you to see how because we talked, and I didn't think you didn't really want to be on the show a while ago.
Yeah.
And I know the feeling about, like you said, being embarrassed. I was so embarrassed.
Yeah.
From thinking, wow, I had a stroke at 49.
Yeah.
And so I was more embarrassed. But now, you know what? Screw it.
Yeah.
This is how I am now. And I'm, like you're saying, you're an advocate for women having breast cancer.
Yes.
They need to know what's going on. So
they really need to know. And that's another whole story that I want to deal with women. It's rampant. Breast cancer is absolutely rampant among women. And it is what it is, but everybody's rushing them into surgery. And all I'm saying is stop 1 second and ask the question, is this woman healthy enough for surgery? And if anybody had asked the question about me, somebody should have said, no, let's hold off for a second. She needs some other stuff that we need to work on. And anyway, again, trying not to dwell on the past and staying there. I'm trying to move forward.
Yeah.
And also, I got to get it all out. It's like,
me too. I'm glad you're doing it.
Like I call myself, rah! Like sometimes it just has to all come out. Like it's, you're just vomiting stuff just to get it out. And you have to get out all the stuff, the bad stuff that's inside of you to be able to move to a more positive place.
You have to. And like Yvonne says, it's hard because you are a private person. That's why it is so hard. Yeah. And then Salute, what are we talking here? Yes, we listen to positive YouTube podcasts, audiobooks, these different Facebook shows. So we have a lot of shows.
Yes, I'm realizing how much more is out there for me. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to be involved here today, is to get more involved and meet people and talk about it and not be so alone anymore, because I'm so alone. I feel so isolated and it's devastating. And I hate the fact that I have to have strangers come help me and take care of me.
But we're not strangers. We understand.
The people
yes,
that have to come here to my house, and I'm like, this is a stranger. And, of course I get to know them over time. But essentially strangers coming into my house to help me, and do stupid things, do the laundry, do, whatever it is that I need help with.
Yes.
And And the last couple of months, I started saying, no, I want to do that. Let me do it. So I started doing tasks, but I do tasks while somebody's here.
Right.
So they can watch me to go outside to water the plants or do something. I keep doing those things while somebody's here. I hate it. When I go outside, somebody's here to help me. But again, I always carry my phone with me.
Yeah. And
but I hate it.
No, I know that's what Lynette said. She carries her phone in her bra because
yeah, it's right here.
Yeah, that's what you said too. Yeah. So Yvonne from Athens says you are on your way up, which is
Thank
great.
You.
Jan, I love this community and so positive for us. And Paul comments, you can do this.
Oh.
Yeah, this is and there's so many comments, and after the show you can always go back and look at it and
okay.
And respond to them.
I can't see anything right now because there's the other thing. I came out blind. I can't see anything. So I'm trying, but I don't know what's going on here. I can't see anything. I can't read those comments.
I got my glasses. I know. I totally understand. This is typical. Not typical, but
the last couple days, and I don't know what that's all about, but it kind of comes and goes. Like I got glasses, they looked at everything, and Kelly, I agree with you about the doctors. Yes, I can't read that.
They know their specialty, but whatever that means, you can call me anytime.
Who is that?
From Leslie Hadley, and she they're all so amazing here. So everybody like me, I always say, if you guys want to contact me just to chat, I'm here because I never had that, just before.
Sorry, I can't. Oh, no. I'm getting too close. I can't see. Sorry.
Well, let me get the other one. Yeah. So Lynn says, I lost my mom on 12/14/2013, and my best friend Pam 2 days before my surgery, where I had a stroke. So people, there's all similarities out there. And salute, reframe negative thoughts to positive thoughts. There's just.
It's not that easy. I get it. And believe me, I totally get it. But sometimes it's so hard.
Yes.
I'm pissed. And I'm so mad. And I can't get out of it sometimes, no matter how hard I try. I'm like, I want to be miserable and I'm going to stay here and whatever. I hate everybody and I just want to be left alone. No matter what happens, I still get up and I go to my physical.
Yeah, like you said earlier. Well, first of all, Mike Peters says, be my friend, Kelly, please.
Of course.
Yeah. So, but you said earlier, you don't want me looking behind. I'll say it sucks. We're done with that. So, let's deal with today and tomorrow's the future. Let's just go today and be positive and do what we have to do to not only survive, just to inspire other people. Because today you telling your story and you were so inspiring, not only to me, but to you, for everybody. I mean, it's just, and I appreciate what you're doing to come out and do this. And so, and again, I am here as same thing for Yvonne. There's so many. We'll have to go back to these. I
want to connect with so many different people because I think it's important I'm ready to come out, so to say. It's like I'm coming out of the closet. Right. I've been hiding for so long. Like, I didn't want anybody to know I've been in this. So I'm like, this is my coming out party. How do we? I'm coming out, like, here I am. This is my new body. I'm learning everything anew. I'm walking with a cane.
Yeah.
We started doing hills the other day. I think I posted, I did a trail walk the other day.
Yeah.
I told my physical therapist, I'm like, you guys need to get it together. I said, we need to step it up to the next level because I'm ready to go to the next level. So I was like, okay, let's go. And they started making me walk hills. And I was like, oh crap, I should have never said anything because I couldn't move for 2 days after I was wasted, like just devastated mentally and physically. So I have asked them to step it up. So I am, no.
Lynette Price. Yeah, I was blind and deaf and Bell's palsy, and on my right side, hit hard, hit on the top of everything else, stroke due to you, which she had 8 strokes.
Oh, Jesus.
But she's on tonight. She has her show and talk about a positive mental attitude. She's awesome. And I'll send you the link on that, or even Lynette Price.
Okay. I don't know if we're friends, but I can go back and see. I would love to connect with more people. If anybody's interested, please send me a friend request. And
yes.
I'm trying to see what Janice said here. Caregivers should be encouraging to you to keep your independence. Many have taken, I can't read that anymore.
John's away. Which she
and you went against a brick wall with them. What does that mean?
She's saying, I am banging my head against a brick wall with them. As far as the caregivers should be, or even the therapist, they should be encouraging to us who have had strokes to keep our independence.
Yes. So everybody's working, everybody that I have in place now, if you're not working towards that goal for me, you're fired.
Yeah.
Bottom line is you're fired. I won't put up with it anymore. If we're not all working towards the same goal of getting me better to independence.
Right.
Because a lot of people want to keep you sick because they want a job. So I started realizing, am I being drugged? And I know maybe I was a little paranoid at the time, but I was so sick for so long and I was questioning everything. I think I had a little bit of paranoia, but I have taken everything back control. This is how I'm getting myself back. Like, this is how I want things done. I'm very organized. I'm very efficient.
Yes.
Almost results. Like, this is what happens when you're here. So I've really cut down on the amount of time somebody's here. And I want to be by myself. I don't want people around me.
Right.
And if you're not working towards that goal, you're fired. Just get out because you will not. And I'm getting better. How's that?
Yes. And you know, and you're kicking to the curb, and
yes.
You know, you're not just letting them run all around you.
No.
And again, Mike Peterson, thank you so much, lovely lady.
Thank you.
There's so much, and he also says, I'm not retarded, just disabled. You know, people looking how we are. And also, Janice, I'm fighting with them to encourage John's exercises at the moment.
Yes, got it.
You know,
you also can learn you cannot count on these people to encourage you. You have to do it on yourself. So when I have somebody here, if I'm not in physical therapy, I make sure I go outside and I practice walking. And I go for a walk, and they're going with me for a walk. And whether they like it or not, we're going outside, we're going to go for a walk. And you have to, if I don't do it, they're not going to do it for me. So I said, we're going to go out for a walk today.
Good for you to just say that, because Janet says, I need to be stronger with them or they are gone.
Get rid of them. Where is she? Where is she? Tell me where she is.
Janice, she's in the United Kingdom as well.
Oh, okay. Well, we have something here called care.com, which I basically find all my people from.
Okay.
I recommend it and don't recommend it. You just have to be very careful in the screening process of who you have come here or come into your house. Care.com is a website or an app to find caregivers. And that's where I basically find my people. So I kind of screen them the best that I can and bring them in. And if they don't do a good job, they're out of here. And you have to just get rid of them. And I know that's really hard because that took me about a year to get to that place because I was so scared to be by myself. Right. I was so scared of everything. I was terrified. I was traumatized. I couldn't think straight. So I put up with a lot of crap that I shouldn't have put up with. Right. And now, if you're not in my program and we're not going in the same direction, out. Sorry. See ya. Yes. So good for you. Now that I could take a shower by myself, which is so liberating, and it's the smallest thing, but it's so liberating. The only thing I need somebody for now is driving me to rehab. So
Okay, Salou just put it up, care.com.
Yes. Check it out. And you have to be very careful. You can place an ad on there for what you're looking for. I have two great ladies from care.com. Somebody else, Leslie.
Yeah, Leslie. Awesome.
You have to be very careful. There's a screening process. You can screen them. You can pay for like background checks and DMV checks and all this different stuff. Everything is extra, of course. You pay, it's kind of a subscription process, and you pay for a month at a time, a couple months at a time. Place an ad, and then you kind of have unlimited to, what your needs are, what do you need. And that way it also gives you the ability to fire somebody. If you don't like them, just get rid of them, because there's always somebody else behind them. That people need jobs right now. Certainly. And everybody's looking for a job. And as we all know, it's terrifying out there. So there's a lot of people that are looking. I recommend it, but I also just recommend be very careful in your screening process. But it's a great tool. Good. And so also by myself, I had to hire people, fire people, change. I feel like I'm running a small business here.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to do the schedule, make this one happy, make that one happy, like I'm juggling here, but it's also good for my brain. So I kind of have to keep my thoughts together on who's coming, what schedule, who's going to be here, and kind of trying to keep everybody happy, because I've learned I can also be a little bit nasty. Don't tell anybody. But I can be nasty at certain times, and I'm not condoning that, but I just think it has to do with the process, because my patience is gone. I have no patience.
Yeah.
And I get frustrated very easily.
Yeah, I totally understand. Now, since we're down to like the last couple minutes, what would you really like to kind of relay to everybody, for people that are feeling like they're stuck in a rut, or they can't, I'm not going to go on. What would you say to anybody?
Get help. Somebody told me is put your team together. Like, who's your team? Who's your team of people? And each person on that team should be contributing towards your recovery, whether it be your doctors, whether it be your psychiatrist, your neuropsychologist, your support groups. So I also hired a coach who's what I call a stroke coach. So we have one-on-one meetings about once a month or so. So I have all these people. I had a chaplain that used to come to my house who was my parents' chaplain when they passed away.
Wow.
So just take as much as you can and put a team together, a team of people around you that want the same goal, which is your recovery.
Wow.
And unfortunately, that's not my brother or my sister. And they've done their certain things in certain ways. But I had to realize that they're not there to, support me. Right. They have no idea what I've been through. No idea. And the amount of pain that I had to go through with this arm was agonizing. My arm was locked like this.
Yeah.
And now it's going up over my head. But they had to, what I call, break it. So they'd break it out of that, whatever it was stuck in. Now it's moving. Anyway, agony, painful. And all these things that I went through, they were not there. And whatever, that's okay too. So like I said, don't stay there, move on, get out of the negative and keep going. Get a team of people and don't put up with any bullshit. If somebody's not working for you, get rid of them. I waited too long to make some of those decisions. So, whew.
Yeah, no, I'm really proud of you. I mean, to do this and get it off your chest and tell everybody your story. I mean, it's a start, so you can, and just like Janice, she said her family too, no understanding.
No, so they can't hardly understand anything that you're going through. My sister was here the other day, and I just got approved for my disability, and nobody wants to be in this position, right? I mean, God forbid, it's a quarter of the money that I was making. I don't even know how people can live on this. And she was having a fit. I can't believe you got approved. This is bullshit. Do they not check?
Wow.
does she have any clue? I said, you realize that I'm paralyzed, right? Like half my body is paralyzed. Like I cannot go back to work. She goes, well, how long is this for? I said, I'm not really sure. She goes, well, that's bullshit. I need to talk to somebody, blah, blah, blah. And I said, what are you going to do? Turn me in? Like, do you think this is like, I'm faking this? Do you think for any reason that I want to be in the situation? No, but deal with the cards you have. Clean for people. Okay.
So anyway, but that, I really appreciate it. What's that?
Is there any other questions? I'm trying to read the comments.
Oh, let's see. Oh, yeah, I think you just were talking about this one. So Lynn, for about 18 years, I cleaned people. Now I can't clean my own house.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Janice, unless they walk in your shoes, they don't know. That's amen. That's it, right? They don't know what we're going through.
No idea.
Exactly.
And the devastation and the heartbreak just keeps coming. And it's like one thing. And I'm like, really? Not being invited with your friends, not being invited out to dinner really hurts. Very, very, very much.
I know. Well, we'll have to do this again on the show because it's about time. And then in a half hour, saluting Tom.
So glad that I did it. Really good. If anybody wants to chat with me, feel free to reach out. I don't know how I can go back and look at this. How can I go back and
I'll talk to you about it. We'll stop the stream, you guys. Thank you so much for being here, and I appreciate it. And I know Kellie,